What is up, Clarity community and broader audience? How's it going? I'm super happy to be joined here by Nathaniel, who is doing some awesome work in the DAO space. So really, this is going to be a quick fire run of questions that we asked Daniel. We're going to learn all about him. We're going to learn what he's doing in the DAO space. We're going to learn about Flux Point Studios. But first, to get going, just can you tell us about yourself, Nathaniel?
Yeah, so I'm kind of grew up being a jack of all trades. Learned a lot studying business at the university and kind of computer information systems. I've always been interested in development and technology and kind of like what's around the bend, what's on the bleeding edge of tech. And so that's really what drew me to blockchain. I started off as a I guess this journey started as I was a professional gamer. I played for NAO Gaming, World of Warcraft. I was in the top 0.5% of players in North America for World of Warcraft arenas, multi-gladiator, rank 1, and even used to help people achieve that status as well. And so yeah, and then when I got a little bit older and like younger and younger, competitors started popping up, and like I was a 26-year-old dude losing to someone who was like 12. I thought, hey, maybe it's time to hang it up and look at some other opportunities. So yeah, and then I just got more and more integrated into kind of the development of video games and was very interested in that. And that's ultimately, I think that satisfies the first part of that. Like, that's a little bit about me, and it can kind of give you some idea of how I got here.
Yeah, I think that's a great segue into Flux Point Studios. What is it? I know it's a gaming studio, and you kind of gave your background in gaming, how you got into the industry. But what are you doing with Flux Point? What is it?
Yeah, so Flux Point Studios Incorporated is a software development company that is currently focused on the niche of competitive gaming. And we're really interested in making very innovative gaming experiences and blending my competitive gaming background a little bit. And so we currently have two products out there. One is a Unity WebGL game called PFP Pipraw, and we developed that last year and kind of been iterating it throughout the months, and it's almost ready for its mobile app release, both on Android and iOS store. So that's going to be fun. That's kind of like a turn-based combat game, and kind of our flagship game, if you will, was just released in May. Early access in the alpha stage. It's called Tribe, and it's made with Unreal Engine 5. It has everything that a competitive gamer wants, but it's kind of going after that third person audience, because really when you look at the market for competitive shooters, you see a lot of FPSs, right? But we think that the third person shooter market still has some room to grow. There's a couple of big titles there, right? Like namely Fortnite and stuff, but we still feel like there's still an opportunity for us to grow in that space. And so that's what we're trying to do at Tribe.
Awesome. So to expand on this Tribe game, it is controlled by the people who actually play it. It is governed by the people who actually play it. So from my understanding, the players are voting on what new maps come out. They're voting on potentially what new characters get implemented into the game. And then they come up with these ideas and they vote on which to implement, and these changes get pushed in real time, or maybe not real time, but a week later or something, and they can actually see their influence into the game they're playing. Can you tell us more about how that works and what that's all about?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've actually passed a number of proposals because we've utilized the Clarity platform as our provider for a DAO, and what we're doing is our native utility token shards is a reward mechanism in our games. But it's also, more importantly, your voice, your voting power, right, for these things. Coming from the competitive gaming world, where I had quite literally no say in what was going to be developed or what was going to be stronger next patch, or is going to get nerfed into oblivion the patch after that. It's really cool to be able to bring this aspect to our games. We started launching with just very basic, like there's one character you can play in, right? Then as we designed two new characters, we actually had the community vote on their names for these characters. That's how we started. And then we implemented those. And then we iterated upon that. So now getting more into the strategic structure of the gameplay, our first character that was already in the game, we just concluded a vote for her special ability, her Q, well, as it's named after the, pressing the Q key on your keyboard if you're playing with your keyboard and mouse. And that Q ability, we had a bunch of different ideas. We had like toxic grenade, electric grenade, what have you, and gravity grenade was actually the vote that won out, where it pulls everyone in like a 30-yard radius towards the center for about 3.5 seconds, giving the opposing team a strategic ability to like capitalize on that, maybe toss like a real live grenade in, damaging everyone, or grouping them up away from a objective point or what have you. So people can use that in a very creative fashion. And then now we just went through actually and voted on, and that one's been implemented with this live update that's actually going live after this interview. And then the other two characters, we just voted through their special Q abilities, right? So the community got to choose what they want to see their special abilities be. And we're going to continue to build upon this type of thing.
Yeah.
Just like maps you mentioned too, we have also voted on our next iteration of a map. So that'll also be coming in a future update.
So cool. I'm imagining like, say this is like a game that you and your homies play, and you design a map that's like, the backyard of one of your friends, and then all of a sudden you're like playing in different parts of the world at a childhood like location. So many cool things could happen. I don't know. That's kind of a random idea, but just the influence of the community within the game that they're enjoying and they're playing is really cool. Like when I played Call of Duty growing up, like I wasn't about to be able to say, hey, there should be like a map like this, or you should have this gun come out, or whatever it is. No, it wasn't happening. I got what I got, and I hopefully liked it. So getting into the deeper side of things and talking about DAOs and blockchain. So what is blockchain to you, and why are you building a business on top of blockchain?
So what's interesting is there's a lot of use cases that blockchain solves. I initially found out about blockchain technology through the attraction in 2017 of crypto in as an investment vehicle, right? Like Ethereum and Bitcoin, they're really taking off. There's a lot of headlines about it. So then I kind of started digging into crypto and what it was. And then that's when I discovered, the underlying tech, the blockchain. And that is what really started to inspire me. The idea of like an open ledger and having the software decentralized and having systems and products that persist throughout time, even after my death, and I could have something out there as a legacy that people can still love and build on and share and enjoy. That is like one of the ultimate achievements. And I just would love to contribute to the betterment of, mankind doing something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I resonate a lot with, I didn't ask you, why do you believe in crypto? I asked you to believe, like, why do you believe in blockchain? I think there's a big difference between the two. Blockchain is the technology that makes cryptocurrencies able to exist, but really what it is, it's a new type of database. It's a new type of ledger where you can transparently have operations, and you can have community ownership over assets. You can have self-sovereign identity. You can have self-custody of assets. There's so many innovations that come from blockchain. So going a little deeper into it, you're obviously in the Cardano ecosystem. So why do you believe in Cardano? Why are you building your business on top of Cardano?
So initially when I got interested in crypto as an investment vehicle back in 2017, I started off like in Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's kind of where I got my feet wet, if you will, or cut your teeth on, as they say. And then come 2020, there was a lot of others that I started exploring through Coinbase as a centralized exchange. They had a cool interface. It was a lot that was popping up, and you could learn about them, right? And as I started learning about Cardano, at first I just kind of glazed over it, and it seemed pretty interesting, at first glance. And then, I kind of went and discovered these other things that were happening. But then I circled back to Cardano, and started reading more about it, and it really seemed to be the blockchain that most effectively solved the crypto trilemma, right? Of decentralization, scalability, and security, right? Why have something that moves super fast, right, and super scalable, but is highly centralized, and you have to like have $10,000 to $50,000 to operate a validator node for it, right? Or something that breaks consistently, right, and it's not very secure, and there's hacks on and things like that. So what was interesting is, like, I got into really the fundamentals and the fact that, Cardano was using Haskell, which is a functional programming language to build off of, which there's iterations of that using functional programming and these other like EVM blockchains and things like that. But having the actual foundation built with that technology seems like a more secure option to me. And it seemed like Cardano was really doing a good job with the decentralization of the network, right? And how they're approaching that. Scalability is the hardest thing to achieve, which I think makes sense that it was the one that was, the furthest out, right? And so just knowing those things, it's kind of like I was spread out all across crypto, and I kind of just continuously consolidated. This is even before I started my business here. It's just the education, the information that was out there, I just slowly consolidated into only a few digital assets, and Cardano and ADA was one of them. And so I felt it only, I felt it appropriate to start Flux Point Studios, and I have our first game kind of, integrated with Cardano blockchain, but then we are integrating with other chains as well, right? But this is kind of our, quote unquote, our home, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's going to be many blockchains in the future, but in terms of reliability, security, for me, it was like, okay, it has to have smart contract capability. It has to be able to be programmatic, have these smart contracts that eliminate, the middlemen and all these transactions. And so that was one part. And then as I dug deeper, I saw this system that was rooted in research that took the mindset, okay, if we're going to build a global financial and identity system, it's better to do it slow and methodically than build fast and break things mentality, which is normally great for technology. But this is a technology that's changing the underlying systems of the world. So I think you proceed in a little different way, and it's going to take time. I always give this metaphor of, okay, if you are going on vacation, you're flying across the Atlantic Ocean from the United States to Europe. Do you want to hop in the airplane that's going to get you there faster, but you might not make it, 80%, 20% of the time? Or do you want to get in the thing that's going to get there, pretty quick, but you can definitely rely on it and it's safe? And I think Cardano is that safe blockchain and that reliable blockchain that it's where it has its, pros and cons. There's what's the word I'm looking for? There's pros and cons to everything. They're picking certain paths that I think that they should. So my next question for you, we have two more to go, is what is your opinion on DAOs? For those in the audience that don't know, DAOs are a business that operate on blockchain. It stands for decentralized autonomous organization. So yeah, Nathan, what is a DAO to you? What is your opinion on them?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I chose, a DAO to kind of like help us realize our vision for Flux Point Studios. So I'm a big proponent of DAOs, And in fact, to the true heart of the word, I think DAO, like just the word DAO, is thrown around a lot these days, and can be watered down, and misconstrued. They'll call anything a DAO just if there's a community behind it and things like that. But what they're missing is the autonomous, right? We are really big believers in a DAO structure, and we're really pushing for that. In fact, with Clarity, we've set up our treasury on chain. Our entire treasury is on chain, and is governed by all of the community, right? So, when we decide to do a spin proposal for some project or initiative we want to do, ultimately, it is up to the community to decide where that money goes and how we're using it effectively. We are also pioneering an effort right now to have it so our Agora proposals, when a DAO vote gets voted through, we will be able to trigger a GitHub action and have a repository that's owned by the community and actually merge lines of code into our game, effectively making it so many developers can contribute to the community and come up with ideas for the game and actually build levels, features, what have you for the game, propose their idea and have it voted on. And then if it is executed and the proposal passes, it automatically gets merged into the next update. And that is what we're really after, because then the game can never die. As long as there's people in the community that want to shape it, they could even make it into an entirely different game, in the future. But they own it. They own the code. They own the ability to upgrade it and push live updates, and that's really what we're after. So that's the autonomous portion of that, and that's the beauty of it, because no one even has to know each other, right? They could be people from all over the world doing this for the betterment of this organization that they're all a part of.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg in terms of DAO controlled code as well. I think of, LLMs and AI, where you can have the users of these actual programs be able to govern, how does the AI make decisions? What types of information is it drawing from? Should it open up to this new database of information in order to make answers for the users? So really just the tip of the iceberg there. And last question for you is, how has Clarity helped you along your journey of building your DAO in Flux Point Studios?
So yes, we've looked around at a lot of different DAO solutions, and there's great ones out there. Like shout out to Summon Platform. I thought they had a really cool product when we looked at it, and I really liked it. Used it for just like a little trial, and when I was trying to understand like what would be the best fit for us. But Clarity, ultimately, what they offered was I really enjoyed all the feature richness of the platform. The fact that you could have like quests that are created, right, where you can have content creators contribute to, the marketing of your product or service and get rewarded for that, in the exact utility token that they would hold weight over, and then be able to vote on subsequent proposals and polls with, was awesome. I loved that feature. The gamification of the whole DAO system, I think, is something that you really can't, oversell. It is such a fascinating concept, and it's ultimately the thing that's going to make a platform like Clarity succeed, and it's going to help us realize our vision of ultimately having this, gaming community build and create things for the future that stand the test of time. And the fact that we were able to put our entire treasury on chain with the Agora contract was also a big selling point for us. So we love the community engagement aspect on the platform that we can use. We love the ease of use, and we love all the feature richness that it's offering. And we can't wait until we can get our hands on the SDK from Clarity and really like take it to the next level with game integration.
Yeah, the SDK is coming soon. Probably we're actually focusing on it now with the database refactor, making sure everything's packaged up and easy to use. But yeah, I mean, the game governance is the ultimate is the ultimate utility for any token. That's what I think. You share that belief, we share that belief, and in order to make governance fun, you have to gamify it. So that's been a lot of the features that we built is about, making participation fun and making it easy to understand how you can contribute to this organization, from a community perspective as well. Any closing thoughts you have for us?
Closing thoughts. I usually just blurt out everything that I want to say as I'm reading the questions, but I guess, just to reiterate, it's kind of an interesting time in the market right now, and just kind of where we are at with blockchain tech, and kind of what the narrative is around it and things like that for the majority of the world, right? I think we are living in our own little petri dish, but um, once we really take this thing to the next level, once we integrate clarity with something like Tribe, let me just paint the picture for you. You're a kid, you get home from school, you hop on Tribe, you play some matches, you notice in the main menu, oh hey, there's um, a new vote that's up for the game. You click on it, you go and look, and it's like, hey, um, what special ability would you like to see in the next patch? And you have, flamethrower, rocket launcher, what have you.
Hmm.
And you're like, oh, rocket launcher, that sounds amazing. Uh, and you use your voting power that you see in the game, that you've accumulated from winning matches and things like that. And then you click to vote for that. Your vote gets locked in. And then, you know, that vote passes by the end of the week. And then 2 weeks later, you're playing with a rocket launcher in the game. That
Yeah.
is ultimately the future that we're creating, and we're onboarding the masses without shoving it in their face. They have no idea about the underlying tech, and they don't really care
Hmm.
or need to know. It just works.
Exactly. Exactly. Blockchain under the hood, fun from the user experience, and engaging. So thank you so much for your time, Nathaniel. We're going to wrap up the video here. Make sure you follow Flux Point on socials. I'll add some links below. There'll be all the Clarity links as well. We're building a community of people like us here who believe in blockchain enabled organizations. See you guys next time.